I'm Dan Davis with Captain Dan's Around the Island Tours here on Chincoteague Island, Virginia. We do scenic nature cruises of Chincoteague and Assateague Island. Big popular thing we look for out here are the wild ponies over there on Assateague Island. Seems to be a fan favorite. When the water warms up in the summertime, we come out and we see if we can't spot any dolphin while we're out here. Look for the bald eagles. Those are usually the big three creatures that everybody likes to see. Talk a lot about local history, just sort of enjoy a natural setting out here where we're near the Fish and Wildlife Refuge on Chincoteague's National Wildlife Refuge out here. And it's a nice trip. It's a boat ride out here that we do to take people to see things that they don't normally, can't normally see by car or by land. And I grew up here on Chincoteague, graduated high school here, joined the Navy, did an enlistment in the Navy, ended up working my way back to Chincoteague in 2001, started working on local commercial fishing boats at that time, and was doing that year-round for about 4 years. Kind of decided that maybe I should take all this education that I had gotten working on the water in the Navy and as a commercial fisherman and apply that towards a captain's license, get a captain's license, and at least at the very part-time capability there, run some charters on nights and weekends. Nights and weekends work led to full-time work in 2009. Really, I've been trying to do anything I can to avoid working for a living, is how I've ended up in this line of work, and so far it's working for me. So the trip we do, the trip that I created in 2006, is what we call the Around the Island Tour. And at the basics of it, it's a 25-mile trip. We completely encircle the island of Chincoteague. We spend about 18 miles of the trip between Chincoteague and Assateague looking for whatever different creatures there are available out there. Usually when we load people up on the boat, we kind of get a feel for what it is they want to see. You know, everybody's got different expectations and different desires. So working with our smaller boat, we're kind of able to appeal to specific interests that people have out there. But we look for the wild ponies, you know, we look for dolphin. Birding is very popular out here, especially in the fall and in the early spring. And there's a whole plethora of birding activity out here. We're on the Atlantic Flyway. But then a lot of history. You know, we first settled these two islands out here in the late 1600s. My family's been here since the late 1700s, so there's a lot of rich history in the area, and then some of that history is even personal history as well, which just kind of makes for some different entertaining stories as we go around the island. It's a good trip. Usually I tell folks just the scenery alone and the little bit of things that we talk about on the trip make for an interesting trip. What people seem to really like is the idea that it's a private or semi-private experience where we can gear it towards their specific interests that they've got out there. You know, ideally the ponies are a huge thing. I'd probably say 80 or 90% of our guests that come out here out on the boat, they want to see those wild ponies out there. So we offer another tour that's only focused on the ponies because that's so popular, what we call the money-back guaranteed pony tour. Which is something that folks seem to be fascinated with out here. We actually run an additional 7 miles further north where we have potential to see our northern herd of ponies up there. So with our guaranteed pony tour, we could be running up to 40 miles, of which 21 miles of that is areas where we have potential to see ponies on. So it just kind of gives us a better odd of seeing those ponies out there. If I can't find them, at least one, at less than 100 yards, then my guests don't pay. Every trip we do, I mean, the landscape is going to be mostly the same, but the creatures and the different scenery and the different people, where we see ponies, what they're doing, newborn foals, seeing dolphin on one trip, not on another trip. You know, all the different creatures are moving around all the time, so it always makes for a different trip.